What's up guys? So I'm doing like a vlog style this time because I'm hosting Friendsgiving this year. I haven't hosted in so long, so I'm like super excited, and I'm prepping right now. So I'm just gonna like show like what I'm prepping and then just show like the spread tomorrow because I'm making some of the stuff in advance, so like split up the load so it's not as stressful on me. So yeah, it's been a while since I filmed, so I'm really excited. So yeah, so on my menu, I've been keeping it a secret from all my friends. On my menu for appetizers, I'm gonna make a crab rangoon dip, mini brie bites with like crackers and prosciutto. I'm going to make beef Wellington, braised short rib, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. My friend is bringing vegetables, so I don't think I'm gonna make a vegetable, make my life a little easier, and 2 desserts, ube cheesecake and tiramisu. So I think I'm gonna make the desserts first because it's easier and less messy, and then I'm going to make the braised short rib, and I'm going to make the mushroom duxelle for the Wellington. I think that's my agenda for today. It's a lot, I know. I need to make a shake, so 1 second.
So I decided to do a voiceover because it was very chaotic making this video. So I started off making the desserts first. I decided to make the ube bashed cheesecake and the tiramisu because it's less messy. I like to plan my routes when I'm cooking. Like when I cook, I want to make sure everything's clean as I go, and to minimize doing less dishes, I pretty much usually chop like all the vegetables first before I cut up the meat. So I made the desserts first because I didn't have to use like the cutting board or anything. So after mixing the cheesecake mixture, I trimmed the top of the parchment paper because you don't want it to burn, and I got rid of all the air bubbles, and I threw this bad boy into the oven for I think like 30 minutes. And then onto the tiramisu, I separated the egg whites and the egg yolks. So when I make this, it's really good, but I just don't know how to get stiff peaks. Like the stiff peaks don't want me. But lucky for me, it still tasted really good. So this was my first Friendsgiving in about 3 or 4 years, probably 2019. And I was really nervous because with everything I've been through the last few years, I really secluded myself. So this event was my way of sort of putting myself back out there and pretty much giving thanks to my friends for being there for me and giving me the space to deal with the things I needed to deal with. I asked them not to cook anything. I was gonna cook everything. I love to cook. It really wasn't much of a big deal to me, and I love to show my love for my friends through cooking. And I was really nervous because I've never cooked for this many people before, but I want to say it was a pretty big success. I ended up cooking for like 4 or 5 hours this day. When I tell you, my feet was hurting, my back was hurting, it was insane. And I even ended up cleaning up my apartment because the event was tomorrow, so I had to do that too. It was also hair wash day, so I was like, you know, if my hair is dirty, I might as well just do all the dirty things, you know, right? That makes sense, right? Girl logic. I was actually surprised at how easy tiramisu is to make, so I highly recommend anyone to learn how to make it for like a get together. I'm pretty sure you will impress people. It's not that hard. You only need a few ingredients. I also want to say, learn how to cook. It's such a good skill to have. So we're just finishing up the tiramisu now, and then we're moving on to the Wellington. I spent about 30 minutes dicing up this box of mushrooms. It was absolutely wild. Look at that. Look at me go. I was really testing my patience here with that cutting. But you know what? I actually don't mind cutting. I feel like I'm just in the zone and I just don't think too much. And then I am making my braised short rib now. So I obviously just want to clean the meat a little bit because it's kind of wet, and then you season it, baste it with some sunflower basting oil. That is some really good oil, by the way. I get so excited for Thanksgiving. I want to say Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday next to Christmas. Not like it's anything crazy, but it's just always a nice 4-day weekend. You go eat during the day, and then you come home and do some online shopping, and you just cozy up. And I usually take off for work on Friday, so I can sleep late and just do whatever. It's just a very nice chill time. This was the cleanest cooking session I've ever had because I was cleaning as I was going. So yeah, I was searing up the meat adding up all the onions and the spices and the beef broth. And I honestly, this dish was probably one of my favorite dishes. I cannot believe I made something like this, and it was so easy. I just threw this thing in the slow cooker and it did everything for me. I barely did anything. 100% I'm gonna make this again in the future. I didn't realize my camera angle was so horrible here, but I just poured this into the slow cooker and just threw it in the slow cooker. I wish I had a better angle in my kitchen, but as you can see, like, the bar is right there, so I really just don't have anywhere to put my camera. So now I'm getting ready to sear the beef Wellington. I think I spent like 3 days making this Wellington. I followed this guy's Alvin's recipe. It was pretty good. I'm definitely gonna follow it again. I've always wanted to make a beef Wellington, but as much as I like to cook, I'm very intimidated by American food. I'm so good at cooking Asian food, but American food is just not my expertise for some reason. But this time I decided to make a Wellington, and I don't regret my choices at all. I think next time though, since I was so nervous that it was going to be super raw in the middle, I left it in the oven for a little bit too long without realizing that it will cook as it's resting. So the middle, when I took it out, was great, but the ends were kind of well done. But I just saved the ends for myself, and I gave my friends the medium rare pieces because I love them and I want the best for them, you know? As if cutting the mushrooms for 30 minutes wasn't enough, here I am, busting away, shredding this cheese. I think I bought about 1 pound of cheese each or something. I have no idea. I bought a lot of cheese. But you don't want to buy shredded cheese because it has like this waxy chemical or whatever on it, so it doesn't melt as well. So if you didn't know, now you know. So here I am, just grating cheese for God knows how long to make mac and cheese. But you know, I'm not gonna lie, I followed Teeny's recipe, this girl that was on Next Level Chef. It was probably like one of the best mac and cheese recipes I've ever had. But I don't know if it's just me. It tasted really good when I was tasting it as I was making it. It was still good after I baked it, but for some reason I liked it better when it was just not baked. Is it just me? Does anyone else have the same feelings? But anyway, really good mac and cheese, highly recommend. I stayed away from making mac and cheese for a while because the first time I made mac and cheese, I tried to make a roux where you add like milk and flour, and it was so crumbly and it was just not it. So after that, I was like intimidated for a hot minute, but then I decided to try again, and now for some reason it just seems so easy. So just keep practicing because you never know how good you're gonna get. So here I am. This was like an arm workout, I tell you. Thank God I go to the gym. But you know, 1 layer, and apparently the secret is you putting the cheese and then another layer of pasta and more cheese. That's how you get this stretchy cheesiness when you dip into it. So the next thing I'm making, I think it was the last thing I made, it was crab rangoon dip. And why did I make crab rangoon dip instead of crab rangoons? Because my friends were like, damn girl, you was lazy, you didn't want to wrap it for us. And I'm like, hell no, I literally spent 5 hours cooking. What more do you want from me? I also didn't want to use too much oil because if I made crab rangoon, I probably would have had to use a pot of oil. But I made crackers with the wonton wrappers, and I only had to use like half an inch of oil, which was way less. And I just don't like frying with so much oil because the smell gets all over me and I just feel so gross after. But yeah, this is my first time making crab rangoon and it was so good. But I was very generous with this whole dinner because I'm a health fanatic, so I usually use like fat-free or low-fat or skim, all that stuff, right? This time I use full-fat cream cheese, I use heavy cream, sugar, like I went all out. I was feeding my friends real good. So when I had the leftovers during the week, I felt so sick because it was just too much for my body to handle because I'm not used to eating like this. But yeah, very good dip, very good recipe. I would probably make this again, to be honest. Alright, I forgot. I was making 3-day beef Wellington. So today I was wrapping the prosciutto and the duxelle into the Wellington, but this wasn't puff pastry. In the recipe I used, he used like scallion pancake without the scallion, and I thought that was genius because it gives it like an extra layer of flakiness. But here I am laying out the prosciutto. When I made the mushrooms, I didn't realize that this would not be enough because I made 2 beef Wellingtons. That tenderloin I bought was huge, and I didn't want to freeze it, and like I just feel like freezing the meat and defrosting it after a while, it just doesn't taste as good. So I was like, I'm just gonna make both, and thank God I did because so many people came and we ended up eating most of the Wellington. But I had to split the duxelle, and so when I cut into the Wellington, you couldn't see the layers, but it was fine. It was still really good. So yeah, here I am wrapping this thing. It was huge. It was literally the size of a fetus. When I had both of them in my hand, I literally felt like I was holding twins, and it made me realize, oh, I really hope I never have twins because that scared me a little bit. But look at this. Look at how fat this is. The pancake I couldn't even wrap the whole thing, and I didn't have enough pancake to wrap most of it, so it was really a struggle making this Wellington. But it was definitely a good learning experience, and it was really good for a first time, so I definitely don't regret making it at all. I'm finally done for the day, and I'm so glad I did all this the day before. So on to the next day.
It's Friendsgiving day. I know I look a little crazy right now. This is gonna be my hair. So today I pretty much did everything yesterday. I cooked for like 5 hours. But thank God I did that because there's no way I could have done that today. So today I just have to make the beef Wellington sauce and wrap it in puff pastry and bake it, and probably just the crab rangoon wonton wrapper chips. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So it's gonna be an easy day and setting up and stuff. So yeah. Look at how beautiful my Wellington is. I'm just, you know, dabbing it up. I'm all ready now. We're setting up. So cute. I'm a dumbass.
What'd you do?
There's a tear, I think.
Is that cheese?
Free, yeah. The best cheese of all time! I fucking did that. I did that. I did that. My babies. My twins. I wish I could hold it.
I was so caught up with everybody coming that I forgot to record on my camera the spread. So here is the spread from my Instagram story. Look at that, how beautiful. Nothing makes me happier than seeing my friends get together, enjoy my food, and spending time together. I truly am so blessed and so grateful to have a wonderful group of people that I can call my own and my family.
Happy Friendsgiving. Hit this button right here for more parties. Share, like, comment down below.